Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today. We are delighted to have one of our senior application consultants with us, Bob Rainville. And Bob will be presenting on using lots in Business Central. As a reminder, we are recording this webinar, and we will post it to our on-demand webinar library for you to review again or share with anyone. And you can find our library under our resources tab on our website at innovia.com. And we do encourage you to ask questions during our presentation, so please feel free to type them in the questions box and we will answer them at the end of our session. So now I'm going to turn it over to Bob to kick off our presentation.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. And good morning, everyone. You should be able to see my screen. And basically, this is the Using Lots in Business Central webinar. What we're going to do today, what we're going to cover today is, well, that's my smiling face and my contact information. And you can see down here, rrainville@innovia.com if you want to contact me. And so this webinar is really to give you an overview of how to set up and use Business Central for lot control of inventory. And what we're going to do for an agenda is we're going to just talk briefly about, why to use lot control. I'll show you how to set up the data in BC, and we'll walk through the transaction processing with lots and how to do lot tracing. Why use lot control? Lot control just gives you the capability to track your inventory, not only at the item or product level, but also for specific manufacturing or vendor lots or batches of your different products. It's used where you as a seller need to be able to trace the source and destination of the specific lots or batches. And it's common in the food, electronics, pharmaceutical, industries. Some of the benefits of doing this are regulatory compliance. It's required in certain industries like food, pharmaceuticals, aviation, chemicals. It will assist you with product recalls because the source and destinations can be found very quickly in BC. Oftentimes it's used to help with quality assurance where there's testing and analysis that goes on at a batch by batch or a lot by lot level. And it can also help with inventory aging because with lot control you can set up expiration dates and utilize that to segregate your inventory and to turn over your inventory, your oldest inventory, more frequently. So, those are some of the reasons why lot control is used. I'm going to do a demonstration, but before I jump to the demonstration, using lot control in BC is really pretty straightforward. And as I say, I'm going to walk through how to set it up, how to do transactions using it, and then also how to use the traceability function in BC. Sometimes people get overwhelmed with it, but once it's set up, the only real issue is that when you're doing transactions, rather than just having to identify the specific items, you also have to identify the specific lots you're going to do with the transactions. So it's not all that cumbersome. And once it's set up, it pretty much runs on its own. So hopefully out of this, you'll get a good sense of that. And if you have the need to utilize it, then you'll be able to put it into use. So I'm going to change over to a demonstration copy of Business Central that I have. And this is BC 20, I believe. And before we get into the details of data configuration, I just want to show you the kind of the layout of the product that we've got that we're going to be using in the demonstration. So I'm going to look for the quantity explosion of bomb report. and I'm going to run it for this particular number. Okay. And I'm going to make this larger so we can all see it. Let me make it larger still. A little too large, sorry about that. All right, there we go. Okay. So what the quantity explosion of bomb report does is you put an item number, and in this case, I'm putting in this finished good peach syrup. There's 12 bottles, 12 ounce bottles in a case. And it looks at the bill of materials associated with that, and it shows you both the items that go into this case, which are identified by level 1 items. And if any of these level 1 items have subassemblies or components related to them, then it shows as level 2. So in this particular case, we've got the finished peach syrup case, which is made from the peach syrup itself, which is also used with the carton, the divider, the bottle, the cap, and the label. So that gives you one bottle. And then the peach syrup itself is made from base syrup, the blueberry concentrate, and granulated sugar. Some of the items in this bill of material are set up for lot tracking. And in this case, it's any of the items that actually make up or touch the product itself, the food product itself. So this item 930001 is lot controlled. The peach syrup is lot controlled. The base syrup, the blueberry concentrate, and the sugar is set up for lot control. Oftentimes, the bottle and the cap, which come into contact, will also be lot controlled. But this is a pretty straightforward bill of material. I have no idea how this would actually taste, so please don't try to make this at home using this formula because I don't know what it would taste like. So that's basically the framework that we're going to use for this. So let me close this report. And kind of the place where you start with using lot control is setting up what Business Central refers to as item tracking codes. And they call it item tracking because you can use it for both lot and serial control. When I open the table, the item tracking codes table, you can see there's several different options down here. And I'm going to click on this one called Lot All. And we're going to go in and we're going to edit it. And when you set up item tracking, in the general section, this is primarily just a code and a description that you give it. And then there's sections below it for serial number, lot number, and miscellaneous. The serial number section only gets used if you're going to be tracking things by serial number. So in this case, I've got it closed down or minimized. And in the lot number section, I basically checked off everything. In most cases, when you're doing lot control for a particular item, you want all of the transactions that are related to that item to be lot controlled. Occasionally, I have seen it where some clients don't want to track things through the manufacturing process or the purchasing process, but only want to track it when they sell it. Not as common with lot control, but more common with serial number control. And the selection of these different options allow you to identify which transactions are going to require lot control. And so you check them on and off as you need to. One of the options here is to create lot number information records on posting. So there is the option to have lot information records, which gives you a little bit more detail and allows you to put a little bit more data in about the lot number. You can put in expiration date and things like that. And so it's usually good to create that lot information record because you can use it to block lots and things of that nature. I've got it set up again so that all the transactions that we're going to do today are going to require lot control. So I've got purchase, sales tracking, positive, negative adjustments. If we were doing assembly, it would have that manufacturing tracking as well. So both on the inbound and outbound, you can control which transactions you want to mandate the item tracking for. And then down at the bottom, under miscellaneous, you can fill in a warranty date formula if you want, if there's going to be a warranty related to the specific lot, and you can require warranty date entry when you're doing the transactions. And then you can also click to use expiration dates. If you turn this on, then what will happen is when you create an item, a new item lot combination, the system will calculate what the expiration date is of that lot and assign it to the lot number and also to the item ledger entries. So these are some of the fields related to setup. And you can have, as you can see here, different types of item tracking codes. The one called lot all is the one that we're going to use in this particular case. So once you've got the item tracking codes set up, then what you need to do is you need to assign them to the items that you want to lot control. So this is my items list. There's a bunch of different items in here, and I've got a filter set up for just food items. So if I look at that, and this is the finished good that I showed you in the quantity explosion of bomb. So I'll open up that record. And down here in the item tracking tab, you can see I've got an item tracking code lot all assigned to this item. And what I've also done is I've assigned a number series to automatically create the lot numbers when I create new lots. I can also set an expiration date. So for instance, if this product is a shelf life of 1 year, I can put a 1Y date in there, and based on the date that this item is produced, it will set the expiration date for 1 day after that. So at the item, you want to do this for all the items that you're going to use lot control for. And if we look at the items that I've got in my list, you can see the peach syrup is lot controlled. The labels in our example are not. The cap is lot controlled. The bottle is lot controlled, again, because those come in contact with the actual product itself. And the cartons and the dividers are not. And then the ingredients, sugar, the peach concentrate, and the base syrup are all lot controlled as well. So now that we've got the items set up and with the numbers, the lot numbers associated with them, you need to use them when you're doing certain transactions. So in our case, we're going to purchase some of the ingredients. So I have a purchase order created. In this particular case, we're buying the peach concentrate, and we're buying 300 gallons of it. And before we can receive this, the system is going to require us to have assigned lots to it. And the way that we do that is, if you're doing it directly, the receipts directly from the purchase order, is you use the line option and you go to item tracking lines. In this particular case, we have 5 lot numbers that have come in. So you can, when you're buying things, you can either assign your own lot numbers or you can use the vendor's lot numbers, whichever you choose. In this particular case, I've used the lot numbers the vendor's given me, and they give me specific lots and specific quantities in the receipt that we're going to process. And the way that you add to this is, if you have a new line that you want to add, you can just come down, you type in the lot number, and you would add the quantity that you're going to receive. As you're adding these lines, so if I put a quantity in here, at the top of the page you can see here's the quantity that we need. This is the quantity that we already have tracking assigned for, and this would be any undefined quantity. So right now it's saying -3, which means that we've got three more assigned lots than we're actually going to receive. So if I drop this line, now it goes back to, we've got 300 that we're going to receive. We've got 300 defined as tracking, so there's no undefined. So we should be able to post this receipt, and the lot information will be posted. So let's close this. And now we're going to post the receipt. I'm just going to post the receipt here, not invoice. Okay, and when you're using lot or serial control, the number of item ledger entries that you get can be different. So if I go to the posted receipt that we just created, and I look at the line, we've got 300 that we received. But if I also look at the entries for this, I can see that item ledger entries, there's actually 5 entries that were created. And when I drill into this, I can see that there's an item ledger entry created for each specific lot that I had assigned and the quantities in those specific lots. So this is an important differentiation. If you're not using lots and I would get one item ledger entry for 300. Because I've got multiple lots, I'm getting multiple item ledger entries. Okay, so we've received that product in, and the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to use that in production. So we're going to consume that into production orders. And I've already got a release production order, a couple of them created. One of them I've created for the peach syrup. So if I open this up, I've created a production order for 530 gallons of the peach syrup. And if I look at the components on the peach syrup, I can see here's my peach concentrate. I need 53 gallons. I need so much syrup, and I need so much of the sugar. And I can either assign the lots directly on the lines, on the component lines, or in this case, I'm going to assign them when I go to post the consumption. The other thing that I need is I'm going to post output on this item. So I need this item that we're producing to have a lot number. So if I go to line and item tracking lines, it doesn't have a lot number now. I can either type one in, or I can have the system assign a lot number, and it will use the lot number series that I had associated with the item, and it gives me the next lot number, and it assumes that the full quantity that we're going to produce. If I want to execute the production order, then I open up the production journal. This is one of the ways that you can post consumption and output. And I need the base syrup. I need 451 gallons. And so I will go to item tracking lines, and I already have a lot number assigned for that 451 gallons, so I had this in inventory, so that's assigned. And the peach concentrate, I need 53. So I go in the item tracking lines, and I can click in the lot number field, and then I'll bring up a list of all the lots associated with it. So I'll pick this lot because I need 53, and we'll close that. Do OK. So it assigns that lot number. This is the lot I'm going to consume. The granulated sugar also is lot controlled, so that has item tracking lines, and you can see I've associated the lot number to it as well. This finished good, we put the lot number on the production order line, so this will also show here in item tracking. So this is the lot we assign there. So all the items that we're going to consume that require lots, I've assigned those lots to them, and the product that we're going to produce as output also has that assigned to them. So I can go forward and I can post this. Okay, so that clears the production journal. And back on the production order here, I can go to related item ledger entries. And when I look at the item ledger entries, you'll see these are the items that I consumed. These are the lot numbers I consumed and the quantities. And this is the output that we produced. So it's lot 00019, 530 gallons. So in this case, this production order just produced the syrup. The second production order we created is to produce the actual cases of the finished product. So this finished good is lot controlled. So if we go to the line and we look at the item tracking lines, we can see this has been assigned a lot number. And I just use the system to automatically assign that. And if we do the same thing here and go to the production journal to post the consumption and output that we've produced, we have these different items. So the carton is not lot controlled, the divider is not lot controlled, the label is not, but the rest of these are. So with the peach syrup, the 563, I need to assign the lot to that. So we go to item tracking lines, and I can do a lookup, and I will see the lot that we just produced, the lot 00019, 530 gallons. So we'll select that. Now I need 563, I've only got 530 produced, so I'm going to change the consumption quantity to 530. And down here, the bottle, we need 6,000 bottles because we're producing X amount of cases, and there are 12 to case. So the bottle requires item tracking, so that's been assigned, the 6,000 pieces to that lot. The cap also is lot controlled because it touches the product, so we've assigned a lot number to that as well. And I'm going to post these transactions. Okay, and we'll close the journal. And again, if I come back to the production order and I look at the item ledger entries, we'll see the lot numbers for all the items that we identified, and the items that didn't require lots do not have lot numbers. So here we've done a receipt on the items that we needed to consume. We posted production orders to consume and produce the syrup itself, and then to package the syrup. And now we're going to sell the syrup. So if I go back to my menu and I go to sales orders, I have a sales order created here, 1003. And you can see I have, this is the finished good, the peach syrup, 12 cases. And this customer wants to buy 15. So before I can post this, I need to assign a lot number to this transaction. So I'll go to line and related information, item tracking lines. And I'll come into the lot number and I'll do a lookup here. And I can see I've got 2 lots available, and I can pick whichever lot. I'll pick this one because it's the one that we just created today. Now that we've assigned it, we can post this. So post that shipment. And now if I go and I look at the shipment, I'll be able to see the sorry, it's always under actions, find entries. I'll be able to see there's one item ledger entry that was posted for the shipment. And when I look at that, I can see that it was lot 00018 that was used. So we've shipped this out, and now for some reason, if we want to be able to track some of the lot information as far as where it came from and where a product went, we can use the item tracing functionality that's in BC. So I'm going to search for item tracing. Okay, and the item that we're going to search on is, we're going to search on the 910002, and we're going to show it from origin to usage. And let's run this trace. Okay, did I put the wrong number in? I may have. I did put the wrong number in. Apologies. It's 90002. Sorry about that. That's what happens when you can't read your own notes. And so what happens here is it shows us this is the receipt that came in, and these are the lots that came in. And if I want to follow a specific lot through, I can do that by putting a lot number filter up here. So let's just do it for one lot. Let's retrace that. Okay. So you can see here, this is the purchase receipt for that lot in this item, and it was used in this production order. And this production order was used in this production order. And eventually you can see the finished production orders. And so this is the first level of production orders, which was to produce the syrup. And then that lot was then used in these production orders to produce the finished product. You can see over here, this is what was produced. And then you can see the same, that turned into this lot, 14, which was then sold, and these are the shipments that it went to. So I can see over here, I can drill into these, and I can see more information. I can see the quantities on the right-hand side. But basically, in doing this, it allows me to see, the orders that it went to. And I just have to, let me see if I just make this larger, if I can pick up on the order numbers. Okay, so here I can see the sales shipment numbers, and I can drill into these if I need to, and go to the shipment and see who the customer was. So this allows me to do the tracing, based on either the components that I want to trace to see where they went, and I can also do this in the reverse order. I would put the finished item number up here and the lot number, and then I would change this to usage to origin instead of origin to usage. So this allows me to track items in both directions, from when it came in to where it went to, as well as from where it went to where it came from. So it's kind of a nice feature in BC that allows you to do that. And you can see it literally took, a second or two, to get this information. And, for customers who are using BC and have to do this type of control and are doing it in Excel, which a lot of companies do, or even worse, just by having to dig through the paperwork, it can take a lot of time, as opposed to just a couple of seconds in BC to run through and get this information. And if I did have to recall this for some reason, I could see basically the customers I need to contact based on the sales shipments, and I could see the items that I've got in stock that I would need to pull as well. So it's a real handy feature that allows you to get through the process very quickly. Okay, so that's basically my presentation, my demonstration, for today. Any questions that you might have?
Thank you, Bob. No questions have come through yet, but if anybody does have any, now's the time to get those in so we can get those addressed with Bob. Bob, any common questions that you always get from people that are using this?
Yeah, oftentimes what the question I usually get is, what items do we need to set item tracking on? And my answer is always, only put it on the items that you absolutely have to, that you actually have to be able to track. So if you're producing a food product, it's usually the ingredients and any items that come in contact with them, like the packaging items that it goes inside. In pharmaceuticals, it's the same, the ingredients and any of the packaging material that touches the ingredients that, the finished product that you're selling. Things like packaging materials that don't come in direct contact with the product itself, typically you don't want to do that just because it adds additional burden, additional work to processing the transactions. So it's best to use it only where necessary.
Thank you, Bob. That is the only question that we had for you today. If anybody has any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to your customer engagement specialist here at Inovia Consulting, and we'll be more than happy to address any further questions with you. Thank you, Bob, for the presentation. It was very well laid out.
Thanks, and thank you all for attending. I appreciate it. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. And you can check out more of our upcoming events at inovia.com/events. And we also have training workshops coming up. You can visit our training workshop page at inovia.com/workshop and register for the particular workshop that fits your role. And if you haven't heard our latest Innovia Conversation podcast, we have a library of podcast episodes for you to listen to. You can learn more about our podcasts on our podcast page, and that's innovia.com/podcast. So browse through our selection and subscribe so you'll get notified when those new episodes air. And don't forget to check out our conference page, innovia.com/conferences. Innovia will be attending Dynamics Con Live in San Antonio, Texas in September. So make sure you read up on all the details and register with the discount code on our page. All right, well, we thank you again for joining us. Thank you again, Bob, for the presentation, and we look forward to seeing you soon at another Innovia webinar. Take care, everyone.
All right, have a great day.
You too, Bob. Thank you.
You're welcome.